Hi everyone, welcome. We're Carp Family Adventures, and we're going to talk about our excursion that we had in Panama City.
So this was last Sunday.
It was almost a week ago.
Almost a week.
We're filming today. It's Saturday, so yeah, it's been almost a week.
Yeah, so after we docked Saturday night, after going through the Panama Canal for the full transit on the ship, we docked overnight at Panama City, and then Sunday morning we got up to go on our excursion, which was a boat ride through the canal, through half the canal.
Yeah, remember it was the little rowboat with the two people
Right.
probably hitting on that one, no?
Yeah, no, it was a big tour boat. It must have fit 250 people because there were 6 bus loads of people from the ship.
Yeah.
So we got up in the morning. We didn't have to go anywhere really because we had been docked all overnight.
Yeah.
We just ate breakfast. We did see we saw Stanley in the hallway, in the halls, taking pictures. So we got a picture with Stanley right before we got off in Panama City. And so we did get off at the terminal there, and Barb used her scooter.
Yeah, so if you guys aren't familiar with that terminal, it's a lot. It's a walk, and
Yeah,
I don't
it's a
know if
long
we
walk.
mentioned that in our last video, but it's quite a way. So if you do have mobility issues, or just a little bit, you might want to ask for wheelchair service. Originally, they told us they couldn't do that for us because of something to do with the city, with the ship and this and that, but apparently they can do it. So, because I was thinking about leaving the scooter behind, since we're basically getting off, getting on a bus, getting on a boat, and then coming back. But we chose to take the scooter, and it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out because it is a long walk along that terminal.
Yeah, it's like going through an airport.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah.
But it was easy. We just got through. They didn't ask for identification or anything, which was different from a year ago.
Oh yeah.
When they wanted to see everybody's passports. But
Yeah.
so we just went there. We waited for the bus for a little bit out
Yeah.
in front of the terminal. The buses were coming and going, but we got to our bus.
Yeah, we ended up getting on the really, I guess they were all good buses, but ended up being our tour guide was the one that was in charge of all the buses. So
Right, yeah, the 6 buses going on our tour. Our tour guide would be the tour guide for the whole bus trip.
He was really good.
And the boat trip. So yeah, he was really good. So our bus was probably the oldest of the 6 buses.
I know, that was the only weird thing. It's like, okay, well, it
But
didn't
was
really
good.
matter. It was
had
fine.
air conditioning, which was good.
And our driver was great,
Yeah.
and they took care of me with my scooter. So
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, so we got on, we drove along the causeway in front of Panama City that goes out into the harbor. We passed what looked like a triathlon. They were running a
Oh,
triathlon
yeah.
because we were at we passed the point where they were switching from running to bikes, I guess, because
Is
they had a
that
whole
what
bunch
it
of
was?
bikes.
Because we did see the
Yeah.
bikes. Oh, but further on.
Yeah, it was
Then
a little
we-
different. Yeah. So we'll mention that in a minute with more
Yeah.
bikes. But so we drove through the city a bit. There's an area called Balboa that's like the administrative
Right.
center of the Panama Canal that was built. Like they call it Building Number 1, the administration building. That was the first building built when the U.S. was putting the canal together after they bought the canal area. So the canal zone actually expands. Like the canal zone when the U.S. was running it was the canal itself and 5 miles on either side of the canal. So this was fairly close to the canal. So we have some video of the administration building, and it's interesting. Everything's like made to match the dimensions of the canal. So
Yeah.
the administration building is on a hill that's like 85 feet high because that's the distance you
And
go
the
up
trees
to the...
lining it, which
Yeah.
I think we pointed out last year too on our
Yeah.
video, which was pretty neat.
Yeah, there's a section of palm trees that is the exact length of the old locks. I guess probably the Miraflores locks.
Yeah, that's pretty neat to see.
So that was fun to see.
Like, see a different visual of, see it compare it to when you actually go through the locks.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat comparing the two.
So after that, we drove to a shopping center, which was a restroom stop, and then they had a bunch of vendors. And there was a little market next door where you could pick up snacks or food if you wanted to.
Yeah, it was just, it was good that they had a bathroom break, and I'm glad that we both went. But of course, the line's always long to go to the bathroom. But
yeah, it was long, but
the bathrooms were
out.
clean,
Yeah.
so that was nice. And
yeah,
but
and
we didn't end up buying anything.
No, we didn't buy anything or even look really. We just got back on the bus. We saw that Italian ice vendor, right? Who just stopped his cart in the middle of the
got
parking
the video.
lot.
That was the weirdest thing.
And then he was talking to someone, and then he went back and got his cart, and
so then the bus could get through.
yeah, and the bus could leave.
It was just bizarre, but yeah, it was neat.
We drove a little more through the Balboa area with the bus, and then the traffic got really bad. So we were kind of wondering what that was.
Yeah.
We were stopped for a while. Did you want to tell him?
No,
what it was?
you can tell him.
Oh, well, it turned out there was a big bike race, I guess, on that set. This was Sunday, right?
Yeah, well, it's part of what we saw at the beginning.
Oh,
of
was
this.
it?
Yeah, that was connected because it was a triathlon.
Okay.
You don't think that was the same? I thought that was the same as...
Well,
okay.
Maybe it was. The traffic was stopped. Cyclovia, I guess, is an international bike race.
All right, well, then maybe it was only a bike race. It wasn't a triathlon.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
I don't know, but they were running in the morning, and they were biking across the bridge, the Centennial Bridge, and so we had to stop for a long time.
I was just listening to what other people were saying, but again, not everybody knows what's going on either. So, but that was pretty neat. But it kind of messed us up a little bit because we were stuck on the bus for about an hour in traffic.
Yeah.
But again, we didn't really have anywhere. Well, we did have somewhere to be, but I guess the boat that we were trying to get to do the canal passage, it wasn't until 12 o'clock. So, it just, I don't know. They made it work.
Yeah, everybody was.
But then they were concerned when we did finally get to the boat, if the captain was going to be there or the pilot, because I guess the traffic was so bad and they couldn't even open the gate to let the buses in. So we had to wait, and then eventually the pilot came from another little boat.
Yeah.
And then our food arrived, because I guess we don't normally book excursions that involve food, but I guess we didn't really pay attention again. But which is fine, it worked out. But we had food on this excursion, and the food did make it.
Yeah. So we eventually got to the port. Yeah. And the driver did say we might not be able to do it because every boat that goes through the canal has to have a canal pilot.
Yes.
So if the pilot hadn't shown up, we couldn't have done it, but the pilot did show up.
Yeah, and then we were able to get on, and we kind of, I don't know. I was thinking we were getting really good seats because we wanted to be able to be right in front.
Yeah.
And they were really good seats, but unfortunately, it was extremely hot.
Yeah, it was out in the sun, right in the direct sun.
Yeah, but I don't know. Looking back, it was worth it to get the video, the shots that we did with our cameras and our video, getting it. So it was worth it. But yeah, so you'll see.
Yeah. So it didn't take too long to load all 6 buses really onto the boat, and then the boat pulled out into the lake. So we were still in Lake Gatun. So the idea of the trip was the boat would start sort of in the middle of the canal and then go through the Pacific locks, the old locks, and then come out in the Pacific Ocean and then return to the marina.
And then I guess the other interesting thing, though, when we did pull up to get on our boat, there was another boat right next to us. And I guess they were saying that they hadn't loaded yet because the people weren't there. But it sounded like there was another cruise ship, but they were on the other side.
Right, they were on the Atlantic side.
They couldn't get to the boat because of, I think, the race. Is that what they were saying? There was something to do with it.
They were having more trouble also getting to the ship.
Because I don't think they ended up, because it wasn't a full ship. But I could be wrong.
I don't know. But they did come with us and basically went the same way.
But it didn't look like that.
Yeah, it might have been different.
I don't know. But anyway, so that was, we lucked out anyways, because we were able to get on our little excursion.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we saw that Titan crane again, the German crane, floating crane. We went through the Culebra Cut. So we went under the bridge again. Yeah, I don't know if the cyclists were going across at that time or not, but it seemed like an all-day thing, so maybe they were. So we went under that's the middle bridge, the Centennial Bridge. And then soon after that, we were heading into the Pedro Miguel locks, the one chamber lock, which is the old lock. So we went off to the left side, right? Is that what?
Yeah.
Like after the bridge, we went off to the left,
Yeah,
where the
that's
day
what-
before we went off to the right for the new locks.
That's great. Yeah, that's right.
So the one chamber of the Pedro Miguel lock,
That was neat too.
yeah, it was neat to be so kind of low in a boat, like just going in. So what happens when they have small boats go in, they pack them with larger boats, so of course they're not wasting a lot of water. And
That was
so
crazy.
we pulled in, and then the other tour boat that left when we did also pulled in.
And so they pulled in. So we were
Yeah.
we came in and we went to the left.
Yeah.
So they threw a line down and tied us up, and then the other boat, tour boat, came in on the right of us, and then they tied to us, and then I guess to the right of them there was a catamaran. I
Yeah.
never saw the catamaran, but that was pretty neat. And then behind us, that's the thing that took forever.
Yeah.
It was a ship carrying cars. And I kept saying, is it here yet? Because I was dying in the sun. I was melting. It was just like, oh my gosh. And it took forever to
Yeah, it
load
took a
in with
long
us.
It was probably 45 minutes or something before this big boat got behind us. So only then could they close the locks
So then there were
behind that big ship.
the four of us in one lock together.
Yeah.
Which again, that was just, I don't know, just the difference between our size of the ship, our boat or whatever, and their ship. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it was pretty amazing to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we saw that they lowered the water in the lock, so all of our boats and ships went down.
And we were front row with the doors opening and closing. And,
Yeah.
I mean, that was really,
Yeah, we
really
got to
cool.
see the gates open right from.
But so close to it.
Yep.
Because we were on such a small boat.
Yeah, that was neat. Yeah. So then after that, you sail out of that lock, and then a short distance to the Miraflores locks, which are the last two chambers to go down. And you can see the mules there. We
Oh
were
yeah,
right next
that
to
was
the
neat
mules,
to
kind
see
of.
that again.
They, of course, didn't attach any cables to us, but they
No.
were working with the big ship, I think,
In the back, yeah.
behind us. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say too,
Yeah.
the neat thing is, so once we got through and we got into the next locks or whatever, we switched spots with the other little boat that was with
yeah.
us. They're apparently they were faster than that. I guess that was a joke. They were faster than us, so they were able then to go on the left side, and then we were on the right side with the catamaran to the right of us.
Yeah.
I guess. So I guess it's good too because it's different experiences for the different little boats. So you could, and I think we saw a couple people, you could touch the wall if you wanted. But
Yeah.
we had no desire again.
Yeah. So we also saw the visitor center for the Miraflores locks, which we went to last year, right? We actually, on our tour last year, we went to that visitor center and didn't see any ships then.
No.
though.
But that's where the IMAX is.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That's pretty neat. And they're building aren't they?
Yeah, they're still building it
they're
because
still
they were
building it.
building it last year, and they're still building like a whole new visitor center. But the round the round steel that kind of frames this set of bleachers where you can watch the ships, that is, I think it's the diameter that is 18 feet, and that's the size of the pipes where the water flows into the locks.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can get an idea of the size of the water pipes where they
I didn't
let it
get
in.
that. That's good. I'm glad you
Yeah.
picked up on that. I don't
Yeah,
know. I didn't.
so-
Yeah, I missed that bit.
So that was neat to see.
Yeah, but it was kind of neat too when we got close to it. Our tour guide, he was really good. He's like, okay, when we go by, we're all gonna count to 3 and we're gonna say hello or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of neat. So we all yelled hello to them, and then
Yeah,
they cheered, and so that was kind of fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but this time we had to wait even longer for the ship behind us
cargo,
to get
yeah.
in because the winds were starting back there.
That's right.
It was getting
They were
windy back
having
there.
Issues.
The ships were rocking back and forth, I guess, and they couldn't attach them to the mules. So it took a while before they steadied the ship, and then they could get it in. So it took even longer that time. So
But it even took longer because we had the water in between the two canal, like the locks or whatever.
Yeah.
And we had to wait for them to catch up to us because they move a little slower, and then on top of that was the wind factor. That was just I was like, is this excursion worth it? We had a good time out of it.
And we finally did get everyone tied up, and then they lowered the water. We went into the next chamber, and that didn't take long at all, of course, because everything was ready and the mules were attached to the big ship.
Yeah.
So then we got into the last chamber. They lowered it. As we were going into the last chamber, they mentioned, because we hadn't seen this before, but there's sort of the remains of an old swing bridge that the U.S. military operated to get cars only for military purposes across the canal at the front of the Miraflores locks, the Pacific side. So all that's left of the swing bridge is like a round, like I guess it would be the whatever you call it, the axis or axle, whatever, where it rotates, and then some stone structures on the far, like, right side of the highway that would have been the bridge leading up to the bridge. The bridge itself that would swing open and closed was gone, but some of it's still left. They're still taking that apart.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So then we got out into the water, basically right before the Pacific Ocean. So this is the port of Balboa, and we saw some of the ships loading up there, the cargo ships and stuff at the port. And then we went under the Bridge of the Americas. So that was the one that had the explosion the week before. And you can, basically, it looks the same as from the ship, really.
Yeah.
They pointed out some, but it's just kind of, some of the concrete is black there from where the explosion was.
Yeah.
And they did say that they're still not letting heavy trucks across that bridge.
That's true,
until
and they had, I guess they were saying they had to have some Americans come out and inspect it.
Yeah.
Because they were the ones that are...
Yeah, they built it.
They built.
Yeah, it still had the plans, I guess, for the bridge, because it was part of the American construction of the canal. So then after that, we saw the canal pilot get off the boat. He
that was neat.
Jumped onto another boat to
It brought me back to the days when I worked on the cruise ship, and we used to have to, when we would go into Cabo, and we'd have to get on the tender. And the one time I remember, it was like my first time doing it, I had to jump onto the tender with my camera gear, because we would go ahead of time from the passengers, so we could set up our little photo op. And the water was a little rough, and when I went to jump, the boat went down a little bit, so my brand new tennis shoes got soaked. But it was like me jumping onto, it was just kind of funny, the other boat, and just brought back memories. So I was like, oh, the weird thing about this excursion, well, actually it's not weird, but it's something that it made us glad that we did book our excursion through Princess.
Oh yeah.
So especially I think when you go through the locks, if you do an excursion, go with Princess, because it's like our tour guide was saying, it's not their company that is determining the time when you're going to get back to the ship. It's the process of the locks. And because we also had the issues with the other ship coming in with the wind factor, and then the race, everything, the combination, we didn't get back till well over an hour after we were supposed to sail.
Yeah.
So they were waiting for us. So it was 6 buses. So
yeah, it was good we booked through the cruise line so that they would wait for us, because if we booked independently and this happened, which it probably wouldn't, because there are other people in the same situation but anyway, they might not have waited for us. Yeah,
so but it was good. Like, I mean, Princess was really good, and they waited, and they were very nice about it. And I don't think it caused that many issues, but
no. And then but by the time we got back to the marina and waited for the buses, the sun was going down. It was a nice night though, which was good.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, so it was a fun, even if it took the whole day, it was kind of a fun excursion, and it was really hot. Of course,
It is hot. I mean, I was melting. You were melting. I mean, it's.
But I don't think it was as bad as last year. Even
No, there was a bit of
was worse.
a
But
bit of a breeze, and I also this time I brought my little fan.
Yeah.
And of course, at one point the fan just died. I was like, "Oh, the charge went out." But it was okay. We eventually did move once we went through one set of locks. I think is when we were able to find other seats. It was really hard to find actually other seats because it was pretty full. But we found a nice bench with cushions, which was nice. It worked out behind the stairs. So it all worked. Everything always works out.
Yeah.
So that was our.
So that was it for that last Sunday, and that's really our last port that we're probably going to get off. The rest of the ports are Mazatlan, Cabo San Lucas, and then LA
for 2 days.
Before.
So we're trying to decide: do we get on an Uber? I'm trying to decide: do I get on an Uber and go home, or do we bug our daughter to come pick us up, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I miss our dog.
Yeah, but we still have a few days before LA.
Yeah, that's next week. So tomorrow's Cabo.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, we had to stop for a minute because they're since we're in port, they're doing a bunch of exercises for the crew. So we're like, okay, wait, is it going to happen again?
Yeah, they're announcing everything in the cabins, which they have to. So.
It was good, but I guess we'll end here and we'll do a quick shout out to Heather and Bill, and you guys will like this the Panama Canal. So hopefully you retire soon, so we could do it again with you guys. Yeah, because it'd be a lot of fun. So. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.
And
we'll see you on the next one. Bye.